Hey, Damon, good morning. Happy Monday. Good afternoon. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great today, Kurt. Ready to roll.
Now, let's rock and roll, dude. Hey, you know what? I'm looking around. I don't see a guest today. Do you see anybody? Did we get
No, I don't.
I don't did we get stood up? Oh, wait a minute. I think you're the guest today.
Yeah, we will see how this works today. We'll
All
see
right,
how
let's
this
see.
works today. But I mean, we got a good we've got some that we can actually speak about. Building awesome relationships with LinkedIn Live. I mean, really. And I know I'm repeating myself here, but the relationships we've been able to build with live stream is not is are
Mhm.
pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially from a business development standpoint. So let's dive into a couple of different facets of this. Okay. So
Yeah.
when we do, man, we had a great guest on Friday. Then we had Holly Job on the program, and we were talking about a deep dive on buyer personas. Right
Yeah.
now, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of folks might push back on the buyer persona, but I'll tell you, understanding, just if you watch just any, watch any sporting event, you watch a television show, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Tonys were on last night for Broadway, right? So obviously, advertisement for the Tonys is going to be completely different than maybe say NASCAR. I mean, like
Hmm.
so I mean, you really need to understand that audience of who's like who we speaking to, right?
Yeah.
So just share a little bit like how you approach it, or from a live, and then we're going to tie this into building those relationships on live stream. Why is it so critical to understand who that ideal buyer is?
Well, because you're looking realistically, if you're live streaming and you are trying to use it for business development, one of the things that you really need to understand are a lot about your soulmate customer and the challenges they are having. Because if you can bring knowledge, information, or help around those topics, even outside of what you do, it is a great way to build those relationships with those potential customers. So knowing those challenges is really important, because if I've got a customer, or my soulmate customer as an industry has this challenge, if I can use live streaming and bring really good guests on that can highlight those challenges and solutions to those things, if I could bring on current customers that have solved those challenges, if I could bring on other companies that have solved those challenges, it all helps for you to really become known as someone who brings information that can help solve challenges in the industry.
I agree wholeheartedly. Now, speaking of like ideal customers, or how about just wonderful, amazing, incredible human beings? How about Diane Byers in the house today? Diane, happy Monday. Damon, how was your
Awesome.
Father's Day? How was your Father's Day? Wait, tell me what you did for Father's Day.
Oh, we were great. Just hung out with my kids, and we my mine was very simple. I thought about going hiking. The weather wasn't that good. We didn't go hiking, so I said we are going to eat at a Mexican food truck that we have not eaten before, that serves true authentic Mexican food, and it was an awesome experience.
Well,
So that's what we did. Simple and fun, because I got to listen to my kids talk for a few hours, just ask them a lot of questions about their lives and what's going on. It is great time.
yeah. Oh, good. Awesome. Well, Diane, thank you. Happy Monday to you. Thank you for joining us here. We've got our dear friend Yazin. So, hey,
All
happy
right.
Monday to you. Again, wherever you're at, whatever time zone you're in, drop us a note. Let us know you're out there. We're talking about live streaming. Damon, you've done one or two live streams in your day. So let's dive into building those awesome relationships. Okay. How talk about, you have Faces of Business. You have the little show here called Manufacturing E-commerce Success. How do you approach different topics, different subjects, like the guests that you bring on? Let's go there.
Well, really, I think if you're going to have a guest on a live stream show, what you want to do is, first of all, have a topic, like I said, that's relational between your guest and your soulmate customer or your industry at large.
Mhm.
And then to go deeper with your guest, it's really about understanding some of the things that they're really passionate about, because then you can help them release that passion when you're on the show,
Mhm.
and really show the human side of them and how they really care about helping people. And I think that's a lot of fun.
That's right. And hey, we've got Alan's here today. So Alan, happy Monday, my friend. Reputation as a person who solves challenges, a very good point, and something to share with others. Alan, that's a fantastic point. And so the thing is, we all try to book those virtual cold calls, right? Or those virtual meet and greets, cup
Yeah.
of coffee. How are you? And so, Damon, what we found is like there's just, when we're networking and I see somebody that's really fascinating, doing amazing, incredible work. And I'm like, man, shamelessly or selfishly, I just like to learn more from that person. Why make it a private conversation where just the two of us are talking when we can bring them on and like it's just mind blowing information from these awesome subject matter experts, and then we're just we're sharing it with folks, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point, Kurt, because you're going to get that time with them to really explore that knowledge that they're sharing with the world and the topic. And also you do get some private time before and after the show to really, get to know them a little bit better and understand those passions, because as you're going through that show, that will help reinforce everything you're doing in the pre-show prep to get ready to go live, and then going live with them and talking about the topic and really let them release that passion so you can just share it with the world.
Yeah. And hey, Diane, thank you for the comment. Sharing the wealth of knowledge, priceless. So, hey, drop the mic, Damon. You're just
Yeah.
crushing it. So, all right. So let's go here. So let's say, you're looking for, somebody in a different space, or a client comes to you, says, hey, I'm looking for this type of expertise. You reach out to somebody, or let's just say that somebody that you really want to build a relationship with, could be a referral partner, could be a potential customer, right? So now, Damon, if I reach out to you and I'm like, hey, Damon, I'm Mr. E-commerce guy. You should get to know me, but you're kind of like, dude, lose my number, right? But when you reach out to somebody and you say, hey, you look like a subject matter expert in this topic. Everybody's ranting and raving on how amazing, how wonderful, how awesome that you are. I'd love to have you on this little live show. I mean, it really just flips the script on that
Yeah.
approach of kickstarting that relationship. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you bring up a huge differentiator, especially when you're talking about building those referral relationships or that relationship with your soulmate customer, because you're all customers, people out there doing great things. Everybody is really passionate about something. I don't know, maybe I guess there's some people that aren't, but the people
Sure.
that we're some people might not be, but they're generally are. If you look at somebody's profiles, you look at their website, you look at what's happening at their company, what they're doing personally, you're going to see some things that they probably are very knowledgeable in, that could share with the world. And it's a great subject to open up a conversation with them about having them on a live stream. Whereas you go, hey, I've got a client, I want to talk to you about this, maybe might be helping. And they're going, oh, great. Another person that wants to try to, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
And you're like, no, I want you to share this with the world,
Right.
because it does two things. One, you're going to build the relationship with them.
Mhm.
And two, if you don't have a pre-existing relationship with someone that does X for your clients, you want to make sure that you're doing a good referral,
Right.
and getting to know them better during that process will help both of you.
Right. Right. I agree. And like our friend Alan here, Alan Pace, he has right in his tagline, people powered realtor. People
Yeah.
powered realtor. So, say for Alan in the real estate space, like it'd be a great opportunity to network, hey, the mortgage lender, the pool person, the landscaper, the insurance, so Damon, we call it that soulmate 100, right?
Yeah.
Creating that how do you create a vibrant referral network where people have you front of mind when somebody asks for your services, that type of thing. Diane Beyer, she's part of our Soulmate 100 at
Yeah.
TAC. Dive in a little bit on like explain like what's that Soulmate 100 that we like to that exercise that we run through with our clients.
Yeah, that you bring up a great point, and we'll just use Alan there as a realtor, right? Mortgage lenders would be a great one. Home inspection people could be great. There could be, staging companies. There's so many different kinds of companies that you could highlight that really would be good referral partners for you in the future, because you may need to use them. And
Right.
also they could refer you if it was appropriate. Or you could even look at different kind of things too. I was just thinking about this the other day, specifically for realtors, because I my neighbor just put their house up for sale, right?
Mm.
So I was thinking about it. Okay, for live stream, how could you do that? How could you as a realtor separate yourself from the others? And what if you, as a realtor, you had a Monday morning show that says the hot new real estate I saw this last week?
Right.
I mean, because if you're in a competitive market, you only have days sometimes to get offers in. So if someone was doing this once or twice a week, I was thinking how that could build a realtor's reputation if they and their sales, if they were doing that. And then on the flip side for that realtor, you can say, listen, if your house is with me, it's getting up on my show every week. And I have X amount of people, and you set up the whole system around that in your marketing and everything to really help you, because there are so many different ways to use live stream to build these relationships with the referral partners and to help your soulmate customers. Like we say all the time, teaching those customers, get them the information to do what they need to do, and make good decisions.
Yeah, I agree. And so, Damon, I have good news and bad news in that. So I don't know if what do you want first? You want the good or you want
Let's take the bad news, because then
you want to get that out of the way?
Fun in the end.
Well, I'm sorry to break this on a live show, but my wife and I might put a bid in that house next door to you. So I just wanted to warn you that, I might move in, now you're stuck with me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, but that is a great point. So on the live show, if, like with the realtor example, like, hey, check this out. Let's speak for, hey, enough about everybody else. Let's talk about us. Right. So what's wonderful is if somebody comes to us and says like, hey, do you have an expert in ABC? Do you have a content marketing? Well, yeah. Sultana from Gorilla 76 was just on. Holly Joe from Protocol 80 was just on. We have Wendy Covey. Hey, who do you know that does LinkedIn ads? Well, Gorilla 76 does that. Greg Mishu, it's like, it's just building up that nice rapport where, Damon, I don't know if you knew that I'm 55. Did you know that I'm 55? I finally figured out what I'm good at. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at admitting what I'm not good at. So by admitting what you're not good at, you can align yourself with those other subject matter experts and say, hey, you know what? I'm not the best at this, but let me get my friend Diane, or let me get my friend Alan or Yazin. Hey, let's thank you. I've done over 300 videos to the point series, all about real estate and finance. Have not done live stream. Keep talking. I am learning. Alan, God bless you, dude. 300 videos. That is fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Alan, one of the things that live stream does, it just increases your reach, because you can still drop those on YouTube automatically with your live stream software, but you can go to all your other socials as well. And that's the thing that really helps. I think the differentiator between uploading a video to YouTube is that's one place. This video goes to multiple places right now. Sometimes we're doing 7 or 8 different platforms when we do these videos and live streaming, so that you hit the Facebook, you hit the YouTube, you hit the X, you hit the Instagram, you can hit all the ones. And even though you're not going to be able to, you may not get thousands of views on some of the platforms, that builds up over time, and your your listening base will continue to grow.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, my dear friend Diane says, I can't drive 55. Well, you know why, Damon? Because she can't drive under 70. She's got a little bit of a lead foot. I'm sorry to let that out of the bag there, Diane. So I'm just teasing. So, Alan, great point.
Yes.
Damon, great. And keep the questions coming. That's what we absolutely love. We're huge proponents of live stream. Obviously, it's just like a fun thing that Damon and I have picked up years ago. And to Damon's point, what we love is with live stream, you can repurpose so much. Damon, now, we have a lot of friends that are just crushing it, doing an amazing job with podcasts, right? And I love podcasts. The thing is if I go audio, I can't go video. When I go video, we can we put all these on audio. All these go on podcasts. We put them on Buzzsprout. It goes out to a bunch of different podcasts. We take this recording here. It goes on your website, my social, your social. I push it out in a LinkedIn newsletter. So we get, not only do we get to capture the live opportunity here, we repurpose the heck out of it. Right?
Yes, it gives you so many opportunities to go. And there's David Chrysler, friend of ours,
Hey,
the
Dave.
master of process optimization and development. Oh my goodness.
So this guy here, so Dave,
Legend.
I was with, so he and Max Krug, and so Dave Chrysler, I was just with Max Krug over the weekend. We were at a little, our daughters are figure skaters together, so we're at a little graduation party, but they're doing a big to do on what Dave, drop that in the chat box. You have a big program, I
Yeah.
think, coming up next week. And so drop that in the chat. Love for people. I'd say, and I'd say this shamelessly every time. Dave Chrysler, Max Krug completely have changed my life from an efficiency standpoint. I have a long, long way to go. I'm probably like here, but I was down here. They took me to here, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, check out Dave. Alan says, great points. I will give it a go. Alan, let's connect. Connect with Damon on LinkedIn. Connect myself. Yeah. We love geeking out about this. There's tons of benefits and opportunities here.
Well, and the relationships we built. I mean, friendships. There's just so many things. Man, there's just so many benefits to it, and it's human benefits too. You know, just meeting good people. God.
Well, let's keep the benefits going, Damon. So how about hey Lee? Happy Monday to you, my friend. One major key is consistency and lots of posts, especially on LinkedIn. Creating exposure and creating a learning environment is awesome. Too many people quit too soon. Lee, drop the mic to you, my friend. Damon, we love this little tagline, out teach the competition. That ties in exactly with what Lee was sharing. Just for folks that this might be new to, and maybe this resonates with Alan with his, we got to check out his 300 videos.
Yeah.
What is out teach a competition? What do we mean by that? If that's new to somebody out there.
It is, you know, it comes back again to knowing your soulmate customer, their challenges, and getting them the information around those challenges so that they can solve problems or make more informed decisions. It's that simple. You know, it's they ask you answer, Marcus Sheridan Approach to Marketing. And if you haven't read that book, pick it up. It's worth its weight in platinum, probably, to most people. And it just, the things that you will learn by helping your soulmate customers and the relationships you'll build and the business you will develop is really pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, we got a couple more comments here. So Dave, again, back to his workshop.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome. And Dave, if you don't mind, drop in the link, the date, the time, and strongly encourage you, invite you, welcome you. I mean, I don't do this.
Go do that. Go do that.
Dave and Max Krug are two powerhouse dudes. If you're not connected with them on LinkedIn, strongly encourage you to do so.
Yeah.
Dave, thank you. You guys are amazing. Highly recommend commit. Hey, right back at you, brother.
Yeah.
And hey, Diane says, people are multitasking more today, in my opinion. Listen to a live event allows you to keep up with information and content. You know, and if you're out there taking a little breather, you're walking the dog, grabbing a power shake, a drink, or whatever, sitting, you know, it's a beautiful day, whatever it is. And the great thing is you can catch this now and look at what our intention is try to build community. So we've got the comments coming in here. So, and that's one thing, Alan, that with the live, you know, the videos are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. With the live stream, you get these comments now. I'm sure with your videos, you get a lot of comments here. Let's see what Lee says. I like that. Out teach the competition. I'm taking no credit whatsoever for creating it. I think it was in a book that I have right here that I originally found it in. It's this book right here, Rework. So the guys that founded 37 Signals, they was at Basecamp, right? Software Basecamp.
Yep.
This is where I shamelessly stole it from. So I'll teach the competition. Diane says, physically seeing someone and hearing them talk helps build credibility. Man, Diane, my mom says I'm working on that hard. So, right, Diane?
Yeah. And it is, this is one of the things that I think video helps to differentiate from audio only. I think audio only is a great thing once people have seen you on video a couple times, because when they see you on video, they're going to see that I talk with my hands. They're going to see that, you know, just the crazy, you know, things that I do when we're on live and the expressions and all that kind of stuff. But then you can feel those when you're listening to the audio only after you know these people a little bit or have seen them a few times. I mean, it's like, Kurt, there's a game that we love, and that would be baseball.
We love baseball.
If you're seeing a baseball game and then going and listening to it on the radio, you visualize that in your head. And I think it's very similar with live stream to audio. Yeah, Alan. Yeah,
Well, Alan, dude, come on. Like, look,
we're there.
like
We're there with you.
he's got great hair. Alan says, I have a face for audio. Alan, I fired nothing. I'm not trying to outdo you, but I think I've got you beat on that one. So, and Alan also, let's go back. He has another comment here. I want to give a shout out. Another video out this morning. So, man, this guy's just crushing it with videos. Alan Pace, the people powered realtor. Another video out this morning. All things Fort Worth, Texas, and real estate. As a realtor, we are somewhat limited as where we can sell. Fort Worth, Dallas, North Texas is my area, but I do network nationally. Good for you, my friend. Good for you.
See, I think that's awesome, because as we look and as we found out over time, the power of live stream, the power of building up like Alan there with all of his videos. Yeah. I'll bet if he does some SEO searches on Google, he comes up pretty high for this kind of stuff. And you know, we talk about filling the Google Eat bucket of love, you know, and I know it makes you laugh, but that's what we're doing, right?
Now, Damon. All right. So Diane says live events 2024 is networking. So Diane, I'm going to say this, you know, in my little tiny humble opinion, I think so. If we go back, say podcasts, I don't know, like early 2000s, 2003, 4, when people were starting to do podcasts, like, oh, you know, like the early adopters are always like the weirdos, right? And so you take like the podcast from 20 years ago. Well, then all of a sudden they got momentum. Now it's ubiquitous. There's just podcasts everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think for every 7 people in the US or something like that. It's pretty crazy.
How many is it?
I think Neil Patel came out with something last week that said, or the week before, that said it was like one podcast for every 7 people in the US or something.
I think live, what podcasting was 20 years ago, I just think live streaming is that today. Hey, Dave Chrysler dropped that link, guys.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
I couldn't encourage you enough to click that link in the chat. If you're not on LinkedIn, or he posted that on Twitter. I don't know, Dave, if you want to jump on LinkedIn, man, jump on LinkedIn and drop that in the chat too for folks that are on LinkedIn. I couldn't encourage folks enough to check that out. He says his walk-up song is still the Carmina Burana. So check out that song. That is a killer song that he has there.
Yeah. And then, you know, live events. This is the thing I think Diane really brings up is like, if I'm the great thing about a live event and about what you can do with them and the video. And I mean, there's some positive things that came out of COVID, right? I can be sitting in the middle of anywhere. I mean, just say where I grew up, right? I grew up 70 miles from the nearest Walmart in South Dakota, right? So everybody knows how remote that is.
Yeah.
I could listen to live stream and I could find the best resources globally,
right,
no matter where I'm at.
That's right. And hey, how about a great resource with you and your Google bucket of love? Alan says, I just LOL'd. I laughed out loud. So let me grab Diane's comment. We are a global community today. Live events help us connect all across the globe. Did I say globe? Globe instantly. Great lead generator, networking process, and creating friendships is a side effect. Diane, we're going to just take a little moment of silence just to resonate and just to marinate and just that. Talk about Google bucket of love right there. So that's a drop the mic right there. Damon, for our friend Alan, can you just enlighten him? You came up with the Google Eats. So it's even better, Alan. It's the Google Eats bucket of love. Damon, what is the Google Eats bucket of love, my friend?
Well, and I'm gonna flub this up, so you're gonna have to help me. But the Google algorithm, they're trying to show you the best sources of expertise, and experience, authority, and trust.
That's right.
And so they're considering everything. They're considering how many blog posts you have. What's the quality of those blog posts in their eyes? How many videos do you produce? How active are you on social? They look at all this stuff, right? They're looking at Instagram and they're looking at LinkedIn. They're everywhere. They're collecting. They got more data on us than we really, well, it makes you scared every time you think about this. Get a little freaked out right now. But if you're going to be live, you're going to go live. We're going live to 6, 7 places right now. That means we just dropped 6 or 7, spider web pieces of information that Google can pick up and say, Kurt and Damon are talking about this topic. And they've talked about it 100 times.
Right.
And they've talked about it 100 different ways. And they've talked about it with all these different people that also have their own knowledge base. And it just really fills that eat thing. And what we've seen, Kurt, let's be honest, we've seen that we can live stream a topic and we will rank for that topic within sometimes as short as 48 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And so again, we've just started experimenting with that. And so, you know, speaking of out teaching the competition, Damon, we've got Harvard Business School. Like, man, dude, like, didn't you go to Harvard or did you?
Yeah.
No, I didn't either. I didn't. No. Right. So, hey, we've got Vin here. Vin, happy Monday. Thank you for joining us from the Harvard Business School Club of Charlotte. Man, awesome. We are honored. We are blessed. We appreciate the crew from Harvard joining us. Alan, great question here. What is an ideal live stream length? People are busy. Subject, business, guess it all matters. Thoughts. Phenomenal question.
Yes.
I'm gonna Damon, I'll give this answer and see what you think.
Yep, you do.
It depends, right? The answer is it probably depends. So if anybody out there listens to John Lee Dumas from Entrepreneurs on Fire, very famous podcaster, been doing it for many, many years, massively successful. If I'm not mistaken, he says like he does his 27 minutes, something within that realm. And he said, because he knows his ideal customer, his soulmate is Damon and I were talking about earlier, is Jimmy. And he has the same avatar, the same ideal customer he had when he first started the podcast, however many years ago. And Jimmy's in the car commuting either to or from work. And so he's trying to ride that commute with him. So that's why he does a hard stop. Damon, you and I like to chat a little bit for probably 4 years. I've said, hey, maybe we should try to cut this down, get a little bit tighter. And Alan, the guests are like, we are so blessed.
Yes.
With amazing guests. I'm like, hey, we're going to go like 35, 40 minutes. And then like an hour later, you know, we're still going. So that's kind of more of like a Kurt problem than, but
that's,
you know, I don't know, Damon, what are your thoughts on time?
Well, you know, the thing about time is it's like the face of the business. I do them 45 minutes, about the same length that we do these. And I know they're long, right? And you can see your viewership drop off near the end and those kind of things. But I like the longer format because you really can get into stuff in the beginning and you can get into the topics deep enough to really share some solid knowledge. And let's be honest, with shorts, which everybody knows they get more traffic, what you can do now with the tools is break out a few shorts out of it and really use those short clips, the snippets that are just the high impact snippets, to get more views on that and push more people into the long form as well. It just, the length of time is really, I think you need to take enough time to really explain the topic well.
Yeah. I that's, you know, Alan, great. So maybe these would be answers, Damon. You know, think about who's the guest. What are you trying to maximize with that guest? What are you trying to maximize with that topic or with that subject? And Damon said, how deep do you want to go? I skimmed this, Damon. I didn't read it thoroughly. I think Lee might have had another drop the mic here. So you want to read that one?
I truly believe no one can market your company better than those inside the company. It's organic, real, and authentic. Sometimes companies are too worried about the ROI. You got to get out there and be real. Organic, grassroots approach to marketing. Now, Lee, we have these times when Kurt and I are on that we just have Kurt, tell him what Lee just did.
So Lee, we call them moments of silence where we just want to kind of like soak it. It's lunchtime on the East Coast. So we want to just kind of soak it in, resonate, enjoy, right? That was brilliant. I absolutely love that. Let's see what Diane has to say.
Yeah, and this is about the timing. From a listener, go ahead, Kurt. Sorry.
From a listener's perspective, timing, scheduling, early morning, during lunch hour, before work gets crazy. 30 minutes can be too short. An hour is good. You can end early if needed. Better have too much time than not enough.
Yeah.
How about that? And she says, ROI, Lee, you are speaking my language. Holly does this, right? She gives
and you know, Holly.
Oh, hey, did you see that, David? Did you see the heart?
Yes. Your computer is making you look good, man. Yeah. So the thing about this, and this was great about these conversations we have with these other people and Sharon, Holly was talking about inbound marketing on Friday. And this comes back again to what Lee said about no one can better market your company than those inside the company, right? Wow. When you start to just share about what you do, about creating resources for your soulmate customers, and putting that out there, that drives that inbound marketing. And like we talked about, all the fill in the Google Eat bucket of love and all the things, and just giving all the resources for customers. They'll start to come to you to answer questions. I mean, this just works together to create that real organic marketing that you want, because people feel it. It's not just like, oh, I'm throwing a Google ad out there and it says, hey, come to me because we're the best. It's like, no, I like it because Kurt's got a cool company. I've seen 10 of his employees telling us about how they love what they do, and they're building these things that are awesome, and why they're awesome, and how you can use them better, and all this stuff. Who the heck? I mean, you can't compete with a Google ad if you got that kind of stuff going for you.
Right. It's and man, I tell you, that is such a great point that Lee, I'm bringing Damon, first time ever. I usually we don't bring him a comment.
Put it up again.
I've put it up 3 times. Just so, it's organic, real, and authentic. Sometimes companies are too worried about the ROI. Got to get out there, be real. Lee, we like to say, let's stop being the best kept secret. And I'll say this from a live stream standpoint, like, hey, Damon, though my mom thinks I'm for everybody, sometimes we're just not, you know what I mean? Nope. So the great thing is, you can put yourself out there. How many times you've landed on a website or you see somebody social, like, oh, this is a great restaurant. This is a great business to do business with. This is wonderful. But then when you meet it just, there's it's like a bad date, right? It doesn't resonate. So the thing is, what I feel with live stream is this truly AI proofs your business. Proofs your business. Damon, let's share what Alan has to say here, please.
Yeah, he's talking about my To the Point video series, all under a minute. To the point, quickly, succinctly, good info in a timely manner. Feedback has been great, generates interest from others. He can handle interest and questions. And he said live stream will happen. I think, that is a great point, and you are going to get significantly more views from those short To the Point videos. And those are great. I think the long form is where you really give people the opportunity to go, I want to explain this further. You gave me 45 seconds of content in this one, but I want to hear 20 minutes on it so I can really get into it, because it's something that it's a big decision for me.
That's right.
So,
hey, and not only do we love Lee's point, Alan loves Lee's point right there. He says,
there you go.
And Diane comes back, best, perfect, great are all words that will have me run the other way. I want someone who also jump in, problem solve. I'll tell you, Diane, she just
thank you so much.
It's all about the relationship. Build them and nurture them. So, Damon, I know, we could geek out all day. Just as we start winding down, just share a little bit on building those awesome relationships. We've talked about the referral network. We talked about Soulmate 100, targeting customers, influencers, or just other subject matter experts that just really kind of tie around your area of expertise to help build that Google bucket of love, right? What other thoughts do you want to share as far as awesome relationships that it's done? What has live streaming done for you?
Well, you and I met. Got to know each other, right? We got to know each other. We met, got on some live streams, started doing stuff together, traveled together, done some cohorts together. We're doing more stuff together. It's really just the things that you can do from it. And then when you look at for like our clients, right? You talked about it before. We have met some of the most incredibly talented specialists over the past, what is it now, 4 years of live streaming almost. And you just somebody, people ask you, there's a gentleman, I gotta say this, there's a gentleman that was a legend when I lived in Tennessee. His name was Bill Ryder. And if there's people listening from Jackson, Tennessee, I know you have met this guy if you're in manufacturing. He was a supply salesman, but he could solve problems like nobody else. You're like, hey, we can't figure out where to get that. no problem. I'll take care of that for you.
Yeah.
Now that kind of thing, you can build that with live stream on a national level with some of the best experts like Dave Chrysler. We were talking about Dave Chrysler.
Mm.
I'd be comfortable dropping Dave Chrysler in the toughest systems optimization problem in a manufacturing company, because he's going to break it down and figure it out.
Right. Right.
He's going to delegate, eliminate, or automate, and they're going to walk out with some really good results. You know, the things that it can do for you and resources for your business, your friends, your family, your clients, the people around you. Man, it's so cool.
It is so cool. And it's really, you know, and thanks to you, we've got it down. Speaking of automated, we've automated the process where it's not a heavy lift.
Yeah.
Right. You like, unless you, and again, excuse me, I have a teenage daughter. That's why I keep saying like, and so I'm trying to just kidding. So as you go through this, we all have to do business development. You have to do business development, unless, you know, you're blessed, or, you know, whatever, fortunate, maybe you own a franchise, whatever it might be. You've got to do business development. What a great way to do business development than to do this. And I'll tell you, just one thing that just really resonates for us, part of our mission, is we just love shining a bright light on other folks. We just love bringing folks on who are those subject matter experts and just gushing about what they do, how wonderful they are. And again, it builds credibility when you can refer these experts for, you know, when people have gaps that need to be filled.
Yeah. It's just because you know them so well, right? You've been around them enough. You've seen what they do. You've talked with some of their clients. You've talked with them and their clients sometimes. And then you go, wow, they can come and help me whenever they want.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times that's helped my clients.
Right. Absolutely. And we've had folks that, you know, they come on the show and they've landed business. How about when we get those messages afterwards, like, hey, I landed a client. Hey, this worked for me. Hey, you know, so on and so forth. So anyway, it's just, we have found this, it's an efficient use of time. It's a win-win-win for everybody involved. Damon, and back to like platforms, like folks can't see it, but, you know, we're streaming on Facebook, my LinkedIn, your Twitter, my Twitter, X, whatever, my YouTube. So, I mean, we're streaming to multiple different platforms right now just to get this message out there. So, Damon, why don't we start winding down? Parting thoughts, words of wisdom. What would you like to share on this wonderful, beautiful day?
The Mariners in the top of our division.
You know, I got to pull that picture up. When Damon's team beats your team, you know what he does? He shows up in a virtual call wearing his Mariners jersey. So I need to get that picture on here.
Yep, that was a good one. That was a good one. No, I think that but no, seriously, it is an exciting time for baseball. We have had not have a team that's played this well, I don't think, ever. But back to the question. Yeah. And what was the question? Because I completely lost it again.
Yeah. So parting thoughts, words of wisdom. And so Diane says she's all about the Phillies.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wait, I don't care what team you're for, just have fun with it. It's good.
Right. So parting thoughts, words of wisdom. Yeah. As far as building awesome relationships with our friends here on live stream, what do you have to say?
It's not that hard to do. And there's plenty of resources to do it. And get like Lee said, just get out there and get going, you know. There's nobody better to talk about you than you, or in your industry than, you know, get the people that you trust and really let them shine, because you sharing great people is an awesome way. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan.
I'm a Texas Rangers fan. Thanks for the info. Live stream is on the agenda. Thanks again, Alan. Appreciate you. Thank you. Go Rangers to you, World Series champions that you are. So, Damon, we'll wind down. So we are back here on Friday. We have an amazing, incredible guest coming up this Friday. It's going to be there. Every week is just phenomenal. Yeah. Just every week is just phenomenal.
We're just lucky.
And Alan does have a question for you, Damon. What is a mariner?
I got no idea. I know it's something to do with seafaring and all that stuff, but man,
something to do with water, right? Hey, well, you know what? We need to let's get in that
I'll
Google.
get that for you, Alan. But
Google
I'm just,
bucket of love, and we're gonna find that out. So,
yeah,
Diane says, "Hey, just try it. You never know what you might be missing." Diane,
yeah,
that's a great line. You know what Damon, what I was share my daughter. I'm like, hey, always try a new food. Always try a new, different food. You never know your next favorite dish until you try it. So just get out there. Alan says, LOL. So guys, thank you from the
yes.
bottom of our hearts. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. We usually have guests that come on, and a bunch of people have been. We're getting more people. We've been coaching some people on live streaming, so we thought we would just take a little opportunity, just kind of geek out on the value. Alan, we are eager to see your live stream show, and anybody else out there, connect with Damon, connect myself on LinkedIn or whatever social that you're finding us at, and we would love to learn more about your awesomeness, what you're doing. Damon, I wish you a fantastic day, my friend. Have a great rest of your week.
All right. You as well. Have
All right,
fun,
guys.
everyone.
Have a great day. Diane says, hey, one more. Make it a great week. Thank
There we
you.
go.
And thank you, Diane. All right, guys. God bless. We'll see you soon.
See ya.